least I was getting tired of waiting. But then again, we still all know it was back on schedule. The angry anime fan here to bring you Eden no Zero of Chapter 8. First of all, a pretty funny cover page. Poor Clarice Layer, who is the receptionist with special skill, has a special skill called crying. Well, I guess that makes sense, seeing that her first appearance was crying happy tears, but now she's crying sad tears because apparently, as a receptionist, she has to handle a lot of the different things around the guild. Although technically, the guild have now gone, well, back. So who knows? Also, they say that the first volume in Japan will be released in the September of the 14th on a Friday. Well, and even have character profiles. Well, let's see if it can still survive. Either way, Shiki and Rebecca with Happy heads out in a well bike car after the bunny receptionist mentions where Sibor's hideout is, and Rebecca's plan is for Shiki to go wild and do it because she believes in Shiki's strength. Well, so far he hasn't lost a fight, so I guess it makes sense. Elsewhere, Sibir is threatening Pino for running away when we all know that Wise stole her when she was in box. So Sibir threatens to pull off her other leg. And Wise, who's actually watching this, surprisingly shows, well, I think at least, shows some standards here. I mean, the old Wise was a kind hearted man, that we can see for sure. But the youthful Wise is an arrogant jackass, or a piece of filth, as that bunny receptionist said. But even he doesn't really like the fact that Pino is gonna have her other leg turn out. So he hits Sibir away with a rock, and he drops Pino, and Wise grabs Pino, saying, yes, defying it, saying, "I already stole her from you, therefore she's mine now, since you used her to bring all the cash." Although it's not exactly known just yet what Sibir actually wanted to do with the EMP Pino bot. But then Shiki and Rebecca crashes the party as Shiki goes wild with his ether gear, showing a gravity wave that pulls in the goons, and afterwards he punches them all in submission with a heavy dance. That is pretty cool. He's getting more of a hang of this ability, even though we don't really know what that ability is. But when Rebecca goes off the pizza, it turns out it's a pizza bike. Wise takes the opportunity to steal it, and unfortunately, Happy is still on it, together driving with Pino. So, but then as they are distracted, Sibir drops a very heavy lift that Shiki has barely managed to push Rebecca away, and the thing lands on Shiki. He then tells the Foot brothers to take care of the girl while he take care of Wise, and they introduce themselves to Rebecca. Now let me tell you, there are some annoying little villains. Well, Hiromashima always did write those villains. They remind me a lot of the Vanishing Brothers, Hanning from Fairytale. You know, Hammy, they think they are cool when other people are ignoring them. Because here they are introducing themselves. It turns out that the reason why they're called the Foot Brothers is because uh, they each have an artificial leg. And strange enough, one of them with a very, well, tree top knot, I guess I should say. His catchphrase is "my oh my," and they call themselves Sibir's right hand man. Huh. It's pretty funny though that when they say that, they show their artificial legs. I mean, basically, right hand men when you have artificial legs. Well, they call themselves the Master of Medicine Chris, the Iron-Legged Foot Brothers, but Rebecca is more worried about Shiki, much to their brother's frustrations. Elsewhere, Sibir is chasing Wise. Happy identifies it as an old night gear from his database, while Pino is just tearing up. Happy saying to Pino that he can help her, while Wise is saying to mind his own business. But then she mentions something like, "If I don't work, everyone will." And it turns out Shiki survived the fall, the crashing site. He crashed just through the floor or something, and crash landed in a junk pile. Sorry for all the yawning. The day hasn't been kind to me. But what I'm trying to finish off by saying, in the junk pile, Shiki sees a familiar sight. A broken up robot with a smiley face, very similar to Michael. Are you telling me this is where Michael was constructed? Because we can still not forget that despite the cover page, Shiki and Rebecca are currently 50 years in the past. And while a robot do not age, it's not exactly known on how long Michael have existed. But that is Michael. I guess Michael really will come back to the story after all, or will he? Who knows? But Cheeky can only have tears in his eyes as he sees his friend from the future, and especially in an unfortunate state. So one wonders. Actually, the strange thing is the narration says something like, "Siber's bot destruction plan uncovered." Upon seeing his friend's unfortunate state, tears roll down Cheeky's cheek. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Are you telling me Sibir's plan is to destroy all robots? I mean, that scene alone was a bit confusing for me. Granted, it was a confusing chapter, but I'm glad we got to it still, and I'm already looking forward to more. But there are some things I still don't understand. Is Pino used by Sibir in order for him to get money, or is the narration implying that he intends to use her EMP to shut down all technology in the city, and that includes robots, so he then can take over? I don't know. You can give me your thoughts if you have any. Like and subscribe. If you give me any hateful comment, I will remove it. Other than that, give me your thoughts if you have any.